What's up guys, I'm Kyle, and in this video we're taking a look at the on-the-go case from On The Go Cases. This is their large case and it's designed to hold a lot of your GoPro stuff and keep it organized. So on the outside, it's very similar to many other cases we've looked at. It's got a somewhat rigid construction, so it's not a hard case, it's not a soft case, it's one of those in-between cases. If you want to learn all about the different kinds of cases, check out the GoPro Case Buyer's Guide, which is linked down in the video description for an overview of all the different kinds of cases and the things to think about when you're buying a case. So it's got this rigid, semi-rigid construction, and then it's got a waterproof zipper around the outside edge. I say waterproof, it's splash-proof. You can probably pour water on this and it won't affect the case, but if you go and dunk this into an ocean, there's going to be a big problem. So once we open up that zipper, we open up the case, we get a nice foam cutout layout inside. Now this case is designed for one GoPro camera. You can see it's got a cutout here for that one GoPro camera, and it's got nice little extensions here. You can take these two pieces of foam out if you want to put something bigger than a GoPro Hero 4 or Hero 3 Plus. You want to put that older style GoPro Hero 3 housing in here or a Hero 2, it'll fit. You're just going to have to remove these two little pieces of foam. Then I also want to talk about the kind of foam in this case because it is pretty cool. So it's got this kind of rigid foam, which is something you would get from like a much more rigid case on the top of it, and then it's layered with a very soft foam on the bottom. So it's got a hard top layer and then a very softer bottom layer to the foam, and that's the whole foam cutout, which is quite interesting and something I haven't really seen before. So we've got our camera cutout there, then we've got a single battery slot here. Now this looks like it is cut for a GoPro Hero 3 style battery, but the Hero 4 one fits in there just fine. Then there's a backpack cutout over here. So in here I've got an LCD backpack. Then there is an SD card slot there. I don't know what this cutout's for. Nothing I used fit in there, so that's an interesting cutout. Then there's a spot here where back doors fit, stuff like that, as well as a GoPro remote slot right there. And before someone asks, the remote is too big for that little spot over there. Then we've got a really big compartment cutout for all kinds of stuff. So you can basically put whatever you need in here. I've got an egg timer, a rotating time-lapse base. Check out the DIY video down in the video description to see how to build one of those. I've got some batteries, roll bar mounts, a battery backpack or a battery bank, gold pole grenade grip, all kinds of stuff in there, as well as a bunch more batteries and some extension bolts. Then there's a really large pocket up at the top here for keeping whatever odds and ends you want to keep with your GoPro. So in here, you've got room for a whole bunch of stuff. You can see in my case, I've got extension bars, I've got bolts, I've got adhesive pads, I've got a tripod mount, some anti-fog inserts, as well as a small pole. But this kind of reminds me of that POV gear case I looked at a while back, and some of my same complaints about that case hold true with this one, and that's the fact that, well, this pocket up at the top is great. One thing that tends to happen is when you put a lot of stuff in here, all of it slides down to the bottom, and then it's a little bit hard to zip your case up because you end up with a lot of accessories in this lower patch here and none at the top. So you kind of have to, like, as you're closing it, you kind of try to shift everything up to the top to make sure it closes all right, which doesn't seem to be that ideal. And I would love to see someone put a little bit more engineering into the kinds of pockets we have on this top piece, because there is a lot of space up here, and it would be cool to see a little bit more of a organized area up here. But on the flip side, it is nice to have that big pocket where you can put a little bit more flexibility in the kinds of things you like to keep up here. This case doesn't have quite as bad as that POV gear case because it is smaller than that one. This would be larger than the small tree case we looked at, and it was larger than the small tree case, but smaller than the POV gear case. So it fits somewhere in the middle, and it is a pretty nice size. This is gonna fit in most backpacks without too much trouble. You can take this with you on the go, kind of like the name implies. And all in all, it's a pretty solid little case. Guys, again, check out the links in the video description to that case buyer's guide, because using what I told you about this in this video and watching that one, you'll be able to get a pretty good idea of who you are and the kind of case you need, and if this is the case that fits what you were looking for in a GoPro case. Guys, thank you very much for watching. This was another GoPro tips and tricks video. If you've enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe. Check out my channel for lots more videos and like the video. If you want to stay up to date, check me out on Instagram. It's Kyle Martin Tech over there. So follow that and I will have lots of behind the scenes photos of all the kinds of stuff that's going on while we're shooting. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching.